Welcome everyone to Sisters in Crime Canada West with another segment of Meet the Author. My name is Joanna VanderVlugt. I am an author and podcaster of JCV Art Studio. Today, I am interviewing Liz Walker. We're celebrating Liz's novel, The Dieppe Letters, which has been shortlisted for the Debut Dagger. Liz, welcome and a huge congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, so for those of us just tuning in, can you explain first the Debut Dagger Awards, just why they're...
Right. Well, the Crime Writers Association in the UK, they give 11 Dagger Awards out every year. And most of those are for published crime books. But the Debut Dagger is for the opening of an unpublished crime novel. So you send in your initial 3,000 words and a plot synopsis, and you might be asked to submit another 3,000 words from later in the book. And it's open to international submissions, which is fantastic.
Yeah, like that's you say international. Okay, so now your novel, The Dieppe Letters, it's been shortlisted. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's about?
Sure. The Dieppe Letters is a World War II mystery, and it explores a mystery in the historical record about whether or not the Nazis knew in advance about an Allied raid on Dieppe, a port town on the coast of France. And the story takes place in London in 1942, 2 months after the Dieppe raid.
Okay.
And in order to solve the murder of an MI5 officer, a young detective inspector has to decide whether to trust a mysterious refugee. She's got a mysterious past.
That sounds fascinating. I wonder, because I have been listening to the podcast Spy Sisters.
Oh,
they are highlighting female spies.
Yes,
especially during the wars, and it's been fascinating hearing
women did some amazing things, and in both world wars, and we're just beginning to hear. Well, we're hearing more now. We have heard some before, but there seems to be a whole bunch of novels coming out on this topic, and it's nice that Spy Sisters is highlighting that as well in podcast form. I hadn't heard of that, so I'm going to make a note of Spy Sisters.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you just make your note, and before I go on to my next question, it's eye-opening, and it's a great podcast. Okay, so did you in your writing come across any challenges or surprises when you were writing this novel?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges was creating a storyline that was consistent with the historical evidence.
Yes.
I wanted to honor the history and the soldiers who went to Dieppe by staying as true as possible to the real event. But the historical evidence is contradictory. So it took quite a bit of time just to figure out what the best evidence was. And then I used those details to create the plot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a fact versus fiction section at the end of the book where I go over the evidence.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's next? What are you working on now?
I'm actually still revising the Dieppe Letters. Okay. So in the past year, I received some feedback from agents and editors at publishing houses saying that I needed to deepen character and setting in some places, and also heighten the stakes. So I worked with some freelance editors and some beta readers and learned how to identify where the manuscript was a bit thin for readers, and then how to flesh those areas out. So that was a great process, and I'm doing revisions now to address those things.
That's great advice. Wow.
It was really great to get feedback from the agents and the editors, because you don't always,
Yeah.
but it's close. People say it's, close, you can revise and resubmit, but I needed to figure out where it wasn't quite ready. And yeah, it was a great skill to, it did go back and forth quite a few times with editors just on the opening chapters to figure out, oh, that's what they're meaning, for more setting. Because you think, oh, I've got detailed setting, but there were places where my language was a little bit more general. If someone's crossing a busy street, what is busy? What is the person actually seeing? And there was a book that really helped me with that. I was reading at the time a World War II book called When the Summer Was Ours by Roxanne Valatzos, I think is her last name. And she never missed an opportunity to put a little vivid detail in for the setting. And so I thought, okay, I've got vivid details, but I've also got some general language. This is what I need to do. And the freelance editors confirmed, yeah, put those vivid details in, watch out for that slipping into general language. So that's an example of one of the things that I'm looking for as I do another pass through the manuscript.
That's great advice. You cut out just a minute there. So do you mind repeating the title of that book and the author?
Sure. It was the book was called When the Summer Was Ours. Okay. And Roxanne VanderVlugt, I think is her last name. But When the Summer Was Ours, Roxanne. Okay. And it's set mostly in Hungary during the war. So it's, from the main character's a woman. So it's one of these books like, like the Alice Network and the Nightingale, where we're hearing about women's stories through the war. And this one, in this case, it's set largely in Hungary.
Okay, I have to get it because my mother was Hungarian.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
And she was a teenager during the Second World War. So.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Okay. So you're heading to London? You're going to the awards?
I am, yes. So I haven't, with pandemic and other things, I haven't traveled for a while. So I thought, okay, it's time to take a trip. And it's wonderful. The focus is going to the gala on June 29th.
Yeah.
And it's lovely because my manuscript is set in London. It's lovely to have the chance to do some research and double check some of the things that I have in the book, and then to catch up with friends and family, because both my mom and dad grew up in England during the war, and so I've still got relatives there.
Excellent. Well, Liz, there's so much more I want to ask you, but we gotta watch our time here. So thank you for stopping by the Sisters in Crime Canada West.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and gosh, keep us posted.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Liz. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.